Have you ever looked up at a full moon rising on the horizon and thought, it looks impossibly huge? But then, hours later, when it's high in the sky, it seems to shrink back to normal. It's a trick of the mind that's puzzled humans for thousands of years. The moon doesn't actually change size. It's always the same distance from Earth, give or take a few thousand miles. Yet when it hangs low near the horizon, something in our brain tells us it's enormous. Artists have tried to capture it. Photographers have failed to replicate it. And for centuries, thinkers from Aristotle to astronauts have asked, why does the moon look so big when it's close to the ground? The answer lies not in the sky, but inside your own perception. It's one of the most persistent and profound illusions in the natural world, and once you understand how it works, you'll never see the night sky the same way again. Let's start with what we know for sure. The moon's orbit is nearly circular, so its distance from Earth doesn't change enough to explain the dramatic size shift we perceive. You can prove this with a simple experiment. Take a photo of the moon at the horizon and another when it's overhead. If you measure them, you'll see they're exactly the same size. So the moon isn't growing, your brain is making it look bigger. But why? For a long time, people thought it had something to do with the atmosphere acting like a magnifying glass. That idea makes intuitive sense. After all, the horizon moon often looks orange or distorted, as if viewed through a lens. But science has ruled that out. The atmosphere does bend light slightly, but it actually compresses the moon vertically, making it appear smaller, not larger. So if it's not the air and it's not the moon itself, what's left? Your mind. And that's where things get fascinating. The real explanation is a psychological phenomenon known as the Ponzo illusion, but with a celestial twist. Imagine a classic optical illusion. Two identical lines drawn across a pair of converging railroad tracks. The line that's placed farther down the tracks looks longer, even though both lines are the same length. Your brain uses the converging tracks as depth cues. It assumes the farther line must be bigger because it appears the same size as the closer one. Now apply that to the moon. When the moon is near the horizon, you see it alongside trees, buildings, and hills, all references that give your brain a sense of scale and distance. Your mind knows those objects are far away, so when the moon appears beside them and still looks large, your brain concludes, it must be enormous. But when the moon is high in an empty sky, there's nothing to compare it to. No depth cues, no scale, just a bright disk in a vast darkness. Without references, your brain defaults to seeing it as smaller, closer, and more ordinary. That's the heart of the moon illusion. It's a misinterpretation of distance and size, hardwired into how we perceive the world. But there's more to it than just comparison. Some researchers believe it's also about expectation and past experience. Think about the dome of the sky. We instinctively see it not as a half sphere, but as a flattened bowl, much closer overhead than at the horizon. So when the moon is low, your brain places it farther away across this flattened dome. And if two objects project the same image on your retina, but one is judged to be farther, your brain automatically enlarges the distant one. It's an unconscious calculation, a correction your visual system makes to make sense of the world. You've likely experienced something similar with airplanes. A plane high in the sky looks small, but if you imagine it at eye level, you realize it's actually huge. Your brain is constantly adjusting size based on estimated distance. With the moon, that adjustment goes into overdrive. Ancient humans may have even evolved this tendency. Judging the size of predators or landmarks at a distance could have been a matter of life and death. The moon illusion might be a relic of that survival instinct, triggered every time the sky darkens and the horizon glows. Now, what's especially compelling is that not everyone sees the illusion the same way. Pilots, for example, often report a weaker effect, maybe because they're used to judging sizes and distances in open sky. And if you look at the moon upside down, say, by bending over and viewing it through your legs, the illusion can sometimes vanish or lessen. Why? Because you've disrupted your brain's usual reference frame. The familiar landscape is now unfamiliar, and those automatic depth cues don't fire in the same way. Even the color of the moon plays a role. A bright white moon high up seems crisp and small. A hazy orange moon near the horizon feels more dramatic, more tangible, almost like a great, glowing world just beyond the hills. All these elements combine into one seamless, convincing trick of perception. It's not broken, it's your brain doing exactly what it's supposed to do, making sense of a complex visual world, even when it leads you astray. So the next time you see that magnificent, oversized moon rising slowly above the trees, you'll know the truth. It's not bigger, it's not closer, but in a way it's even more marvelous because what you're seeing is the hidden power of your own mind, painting the sky with meaning, depth, and a little bit of magic. The moon illusion reminds us that reality is not always what it seems, and that sometimes the most incredible wonders are the ones we create ourselves. Have you ever been fooled by the moon illusion? Tell us in the comments, and if you want to uncover more of nature's hidden secrets, subscribe to Nature Unlocked and ring the bell so you never miss a discovery.